If you are watching after the fact, then please do feel free to skip ahead to qualifying, as we are still setting up the lobby and getting all of our drivers in so we can go racing. We shall see you very, very shortly. See, I want to get a new monitor for my PC, but at the same time, there's nothing wrong with the one I'm using at the minute, other than the fact that it's a TV.
Ah, yeah, that's the struggle.
Like, there's nothing wrong with this one. It just
Yeah,
looks, it just doesn't look as sharp as it could. But like,
yeah,
at the same time, I don't want to get rid of this because there's nothing wrong with it.
yeah.
And I wouldn't get rid of it, but like,
Genie F1.
you know, I found out today that the stretch between turn 9 and 10 at Singapore is called St Andrews Road. Didn't know that.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
The stretch
Oh,
between turns 3 and 5 is Republic Boulevard.
hmm. I
Stamford Road
will.
is between 9 and 8. 8 and 7 is Nicole Highway.
I will not remember any of this.
No, I will try to remember some of this, but and the section between 13 and 14 is, oh, I can't remember, Esplanade Drive.
Oh,
I don't know. I'm just saying it as it's
interesting.
spelt. Probably said different, but there you go. That's my little thingy. Oh, and that's called Raffles Avenue between 14 and 15. Anyway, I was doing YouTube stuff. Well, I'm pretty certain we've raced at Singapore in Tier 2 before. Plus, I need to update the Tier 2 playlist because I've not added the last
I need to
two
get this.
rounds.
Wait, where's my... Ah, there it is.
Pretty sure
Singapore,
we've
so
raced.
season 2,
Yeah,
not
we have.
season
There it
2.
is. It's Season 2.
Ah, season 1,
Season
race
1,
2.
Race 2, that was it. Uh,
It was won by MX when he was still racing in Tier 2.
I just want the thumbnail. Maybe a little bit outdated, but
I'm gonna stop my stream.
there we go. And then I go to my channel. And then I go to is this stream. And I pause that so nobody can hear my voice play back. And then I go to edit video. And then we go to upload thumbnail. And it's not in that one, it's in that one. No, is it that one? No. Where the bloody hell is it? Ah, there it is. That's the file we want. Save. This on my channel. Do a bit of this and a bit of that, and I'll Control C. And bish, bash, bosh. The stream is in the Discord.
Excellent. I'm nearly got
Please,
mine up.
please. Oh, good evening, everyone. My watch says that we are about 2 minutes away from getting this lobby underway. I think we've almost got all of our drivers, and it is Tuesday night, and it can only mean one thing: Tier 2 once again. Oh, I've got my water. I've had my cup of tea. Ghost is here. It's all.
Hello.
We're all
TTV Max
set
in the
up.
chat as well.
TTV Max in the chat. To be honest, I've not even got the chat open. Normally I leave that till once I've done my intro because I need the thingy, but I'll tell you what. Let's get my comms script open.
Whoops, that's the wrong channel. I put it in open lobbies by accident. Open lobby, everyone come in, tier 2.
Brilliant.
Alright, so we got 16 out of 18. So who's missing? There we go, that's 17. So the only one missing, I think, is that other reserve.
We're missing a Williams.
It's Dan Sharp 02 that we're missing.
Oh. Are you? I don't know who wins.
It's a new guy who's signed up for reserve. I don't know if he's actually going to come though. LB's in, so that gives us everyone except Dan Sharp. I'll give him until 31 to respond, so that's another minute.
Sprint calendar looks alright this year. Well, this season. I don't know what I'm saying this year. We've just had a sprint season. have to ask Jacko which car we're going to go in this time. Probably stick with the Alpines. Or go back to AlphaTauri. Don't know. Don't know. What have you told them to ready up?
I have now.
You have now, alrighty. I was going to say they're all readying up very early, but anyways, good evening everyone and welcome back to APPF1 Tier 2 for tonight's dose of racing action. I am SUMO, your commentator this evening, and joining me as always is the 4-time sprint champion Ghost. How are you?
Hello everyone. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. We've got a few newbies on track today, so I'm interested to see how they're going to do. But yeah, Singapore is definitely going to be a technical challenge for our Tier 2 drivers today.
Yeah, certainly so. Season 3, Round 7 sees us head to my favourite street circuit on the calendar. The Marina Bay circuit in Singapore is where our Tier 2 drivers shall go wheel to wheel this evening in a race that in real Formula 1 is rather taxing on the drivers physically as the conditions are hot and humid. Is it raining?
It's raining.
Raining for qualifying. The drivers won't be worried about the heat at this. The drivers won't be worried about the heat at this 5.063 kilometre circuit, as they will need to focus on successfully navigating 23 corners and 31 laps of the circuit. Your thoughts on Singapore, Ghost?
Well, it's a tricky one, Singapore. If you get it right and you have a really good race here and with no mistakes, it feels fantastic. But it's a very long race. It's very much a marathon. It's one of the longest races in terms of time on the calendar, if not the longest. So it's definitely a test of endurance as well as anything else for our drivers today. So there may be some loss of nerves or fatigue coming in towards the end of the race, which is going to be interesting to see. But with a wet qualifying, by the looks of it, I don't know if it will dry up or get worse, but our drivers are certainly going to have to bring out their A game to deal with it.
Yeah, certainly so. Tinoz and Madman continue to fight for the Drivers' Championship with 3 points still separating the pair. A street fight could be on the cards this evening as we start gearing up for the race to come. Meanwhile, in the Constructors, Red Bull maintain a 3-point advantage over AlphaTauri, who have been incredibly consistent teams to keep the fight alive between the two Honda-powered Constructors. Williams sit 13 points behind, not too close to the top two, but certainly within striking distance. You're no stranger to the championship fight, Ghost. Any insights this evening?
Well, with 3 points between them, we're between Tinoz and Madman, we're about halfway into the season. So it's going to be tricky.
So exactly halfway.
Yeah, exactly. So it's at this point, it's still just about getting as many points as you can. There's definitely a mental game in there with being behind and being in front. Some people do better when they're behind. Some people do better when they're in front.
Scott.
But it's at this point, I think you can't think too much about the championship. It only really comes into play towards the end of the season, the last two races really, where you're really thinking very much about your championship rival and thinking, right, I have to beat him today. But at the moment, it's just about collecting all the points that you possibly can, especially with our close APPF1 point system that we have. So, yeah, I think it's just about getting in the right mindset at the moment, just not thinking too much about it, as Muhiti has already retired from the session, unfortunately.
Yeah, it looks like LB and Mahiti didn't pick their cars before we started the
Stingray's crashed as well.
Session. Sorry. As they're both in a Mercedes, when Mahiti should be a Ferrari driver and LB a driver for Red Bull.
Well, that's going to cost. Okay. LB's just messaged me to say that he had to get his dad to join quali for him because he was busy, and his dad has put him in a Mercedes instead of a Red Bull. Yeah. So I think we can let that slide, but I'm not sure. We'll have to talk about it afterwards.
Yeah, watching the qualifying action start now, but before the first times come in, I just want to give a shout out to tonight's sponsor, Positive Perception Media Design Products. If you liked all the liveries that were released over the last couple of weeks for Formula 1, then you'll love the liveries that are designed by Positive Perception Media Design Products. Their GT liveries are always a sight to see on the socials, and they deserve all the support that you guys show us over here. So why don't you head over to Positive Perception Media Design Products, give them some likes on their socials and all the work that they do, because they definitely deserve it for supporting us here at Tier 2. But anyway, we'll carry on now with qualifying as Scott Rowley, not Scott Trolley, is coming through Sector 3 now to set his lap time. It's been a little bit shaky. I've been riding on board with him for his outlap as well. It's very greasy out there on the circuit. The drivers are going to be struggling for grip. It is quite a tough track when it does start getting wet out here, but I'm sure our drivers will find a way.
Absolutely, it's going to be tricky as QB goes into the wall in Sector 3. I don't think he's got a front wing. It's tough to tell, but he locked up massively there.
Scott Rowley is going to be setting the initial time of the session. It's going to be a 1:58.7, not the fastest time. I think Lifebat's about to come over the line. It's a 54.5, so 4 seconds faster. Here comes Krauser in the Red Bull. Has he got an answer? No, he's just starting a lap actually, so we'll let him carry on. Who's about to come across the line next? Is that the face disarm? Yes, it is. It's coming across the line. It's looking like it's good for provisional pole, perhaps? No. 54.9. It's up in the 54s. It's a decent lap from the Ferrari driver as Tinoz, a championship protagonist, championship leader, goes on 55.0.
Yeah, interesting. I'm not really sure what a good time is around here in intermediate conditions. It's difficult to say. I'm just riding on board with one of our newbies today, JBS Steve, in the Haas. So fingers crossed for him and our other newbie, Jamie F1. Hopefully they can both have some good debut races today.
Here comes the People's Champion.
Right, need to let the dog out.
That's fine. That's a 54.9 for the People's Champion. Just 0.003 of a second off as RJ Blair goes top of the timings with a 153.5. Great lap from the Alfa Romeo driver as JBS Steve, one of our newbies, goes 54.3. So a challenger at the front, perhaps for later on. Is that the other Alpha Tauri? No, he's starting a lap. So we'll carry on riding on board. LB, if you're confused, everybody, there is... LB's dad has put him in a Mercedes instead of a Red Bull. He'll still get his points for Red Bull, but this evening he will be in a Mercedes. Let's see where else we're going. We're riding on board with Krauser as he navigates this twisty Sector 3. It's all 90-degree corners here. It's very reminiscent of Baku. Except a little more low speed is very close to the wall for the Red Bull driver as he comes through this sector. It's very tricky finding the right amount of power to put on the exit of these corners, especially that one just there as we come toward the final corner. You want to give it as much as you possibly can, be as brave as you can going through that corner. It's not going to be a fast time for Krauser, but it's a 156.6 for the Red Bull, which puts him in P7 currently. Let's go back on board. Madman Ollie Oliver coming to set a time. It's looking like, it's not a great one. He must have messed up somewhere else on the lap. It's only P9. There's plenty of time for an improvement. Let's ride on board. Is that Tinoz coming for another time? No, Tinoz not coming for another time. I think TTV Max is on an out lap. What's the face this arm up to right now? He's pitting into the pit lane. That's what he's doing. And I'd imagine Lifebat's actually out. No, Lifebat's out of this session. It's Stingray, who is the other Aston Martin, who is coming into the pits for a new front wing.
I'm back, by the way.
Not a worry. Is that Monkey Mafia coming across the line? Yes, it is. Is it going to be a decent time for the Alpine? No, it's a 155.2. Not too bad. He's just 2/10 off the championship leader at the moment. But it's definitely some ground to cover for the drivers as they start setting their laps. LB coming through the final sectors now. I think a lot of people struggling with track limits. It seems as there's a few people coming across the line and not setting the times.
It's been a fairly good lap from LB, and it puts him P2, just 2/10 down from RJ. He did look a little bit conservative through Sector 3, maybe, so he'll be thinking that he can improve that.
Madman's on the second lap. He's 5 seconds up. Sorry to butt in there, Ghost.
No worries. So that'll be 6 seconds that he'll make, so he'll be up to a 150.57 at the moment. But I'm sure he will gain more time over the rest of the lap as he comes through Sector 3 now, in third gear through that section. So clearly he's struggling for traction up into fourth straight away as they come through the final few corners now. And on towards the penultimate straight and onto the final very fast left-hander on towards the line. This is going to be decent. Maybe not. P9 for Madman Ollie Oliver. So he's very much an enigma in the rain. I can't really work him out, Madman, because sometimes he does really, really well in the wet and other times he doesn't. And maybe this is one of those times. Maybe he just doesn't like Singapore in the wet. So 9 minutes left in the session. We'll have to see if he can improve, the championship contender.
TTV Max with a 57.2. He's back on circuit after, was it a race? Was he serving a race ban? I can't quite remember.
He served a race ban and then just didn't appear for the next few races. So it's good to see him back.
So Ali is all... veteran at this point of APPF1. He's been with us for a long while. He's definitely a driver who's improved significantly over his time, and still has a lot to show us. Hartman, is that a time from Hartman? It is. He outqualifies his teammate, going 54.4 at the moment. So it's a good time For the other side of the garage at AlphaTauri, as LB starts another lap, I think people are sort of just popping on some tyres, chucking in a few laps worth of fuel, and just going out there and seeing what they can do on the circuit. It's a good way to try and qualify in these wet conditions. There's a stray glitched tyre on the circuit, obviously somewhere near where someone's retired. I kept seeing that on a Friday evening during the ESRL race. That's Monkey Mafia around is it Stamford something? Oh, I can't remember what it was called. It was Stamford Road or something like that. That little stretch there. But that's St Andrews Avenue. This little bit here. I'm trying to remember the parts of the circuit. But yeah. Just trying to find somebody out on the lap at the minute. It's not the most thrilling
Pommy
of
Alex.
qualifying sessions. It's Pommy Alex on a lap. He is. He's coming.
Just started a lap. Yeah.
Here we go. He's coming down. No, it's gone. I've lost it. But I know this one. This is Raffles Boulevard, the first DRS zone as the McLaren comes along. No DRS, obviously, as we are out in the wet. So we'll come down. Very sharp braking zone here. One of the best overtaking opportunities on the circuit as he comes through on a bit of a snap, which forced him to abandon the lap.
Yeah, unfortunate for Pommy Alex. It's very easy to do there. I've done that myself many a time. So no shame in having a little spin at that particular part of the track. I'm just riding on board with Jamie F1 in the Alpine, who's just invalidated his first lap, unfortunately. So he's in his debut race, so wishing him the best. Hopefully he can have a good one, but he's going to need to come around and go again, unfortunately.
Let's see what that Ferrari is. Face his arm on a lap. Yes, he is. He's coming down Raffles Boulevard. Can he navigate that corner? He's 3 tenths down on his previous best, and he invalidates as he takes a little bit too much curb out of that corner there. So let's see if we can't find anybody else on that. That's QB on an out lap right now. He's way down there. That's Pommy Alex. He abandoned his lap, so he's 5 seconds down. Nobody venturing out of the pit lane just yet. We've got 4 minutes and 50 seconds left of the session at the moment. We're just sort of waiting for more times to come in.
I think a possibility, Sumo, is that the conditions have gotten worse. And that's why we've got a lot of drivers staying in the pits.
Yeah,
and
LB's
in fact,
on wets.
We do see LB going on the wets, Madman on the wets as well, or at least trying to see if they're the better tyre at the moment. And if they are, that means that RJ Blair is going to be our pole man today, which
Certainly
is
so.
a great effort from him.
Yeah, when you've got changeable conditions like this, you've got to really strike while the iron's hot, really get the best out of the best form of conditions. And unfortunately for those who are down the order and outside the top 10 or haven't set a lap time this evening, they're probably not going to get a chance to make a shot at pole unless one of these guys can really make those wet tyres come alive. But I'm just not really sure that the grip that they have on offer is going to suffice.
Yeah, indeed. RJ Blair's best qualifying position in Tier 2 ever. I'm just trying to find it. It looks like it was... yeah, it looks like it was Season 1 when he qualified P5 in USA. So if he does manage to pull out this pole position, that will be not only his first pole, but also his best qualifying in Tier 2 ever by a very long way. So very good opportunistic lap there from RJ. It still had to be a good one, of course, but definitely good timing on it. And it looks like he's going to take advantage and get that pole position, which is great stuff for the Alfa Romeo driver.
Just noticing 2 thousandths between Hephaestus and Pommy Alex on their lap times.
Oh, yeah, wow.
Incredibly close.
So yeah, those drivers that invalidated their first 1 or 2 laps have really lost out here, because I mean, Jamie F1, QB, Stingray, Muhiti obviously, but he crashed, so he was always going to be at the back. But they're really going to suffer here. I think Scott Rowley might benefit just from setting a lap in the early parts of the session, because everyone who's currently out on track is on wets. So that's clearly the best tyre at the moment. And I don't know if they're going to be able to beat a 58 if the track really is getting that bad.
Yeah, I'm just getting reports that your mic's a little bit crackly. I'm just noticing it myself now. It's Ollie Oliver. Whoa, really, the back end really kicking out on him. I'm following him because if there's anyone who's going to set a blistering lap time on wet tyres, it would be Ollie Oliver, our other championship contender at the moment, in a tense battle with Tinnels of the Alpha Tauri. These two separated by 3 points. As he comes into the St Andrews Avenue. This is the only other part of the circuit I can remember. Track temps dropped 8C. Who uses that in 10 minutes from the start? There you go.
Well, another big story of this qualifying session, Sumo, Lifebout. His best qualifying position ever in Tier 2 before now was P11. So for him to be in P5, you can see him in the chat, he's ecstatic. But and so he should be. I mean, just because you've taken advantage of the weather, it doesn't mean you don't deserve that grid position.
Yeah,
so well done to you, Lifebout.
Certainly so. It's all about getting the advantages where you can in Formula 1. And Lifebout's definitely got the best of a bad qualifying session in terms of conditions, as he's just Stingray's just following along behind Madman, who's setting a lap. It's not going to be anywhere near the lap he set before, I don't think, and I'm pretty sure this qualifying session was over about 4 minutes ago.
Yeah. Pretty much, unfortunately. QB is really the only one who can benefit here. Maybe Stingray as well, but he's gone into the wall, QB, unfortunately. I mean, I think it's still... I don't know if he's listening, but I think it's still worth just going to the checkered flag. Even if you crash at this point, QB, you're going to make up a couple of positions just from setting a lap. So, definitely worth it to go to the checkered flag. And also Stingray, who's just started his lap, but he's invalidated, so he's going to find himself at the back as well. QB, again into the wall, lost his entire front wing now. But again, just make it to the line, QB.
Right on QB, as we want to see him make it to the line at least. Yeah, he's got no front ring in that Haas car, but he'll be starting it way at the back. If he could at least jump up to P14, then it'll be at least a little bit better than Stingray. But I think Stingray's actually out on a lap right now. He has invalidated, so he won't set that lap time. Jamie F1, that's his qualifying over. Not the best start to his Tier 2 career, as QB again has a little visit to Barry R, Sweeney's good friend. As Monkey Mafia's retired from the session as well. I think everybody's kind of just finishing up the qualifying. Ollie Oliver's getting close to his lap time. He's 7/10 off, but I don't think he's going to be able to find anything really in those wet tyres to improve too much. So unless somebody's on a absolute belter of a lap, that is going to be our grid for this evening's race around Singapore, as RJ Blair takes his first ever pole position in Tier 2.
And yeah, QB did eventually finish that lap in 2 minutes 21. So Madman only 7/10 off his previous lap on the wet, so he did find the pace in the end, but it was too late. But yeah, QB makes up 3 positions just from setting a lap, and you know, in these conditions, that's all it takes to just take a little bit of advantage, take all the advantage where you can, and yeah, QB has done exactly that. But RJ, as you say, takes his first ever pole position. LB will join him on the front row, also taking advantage of the conditions. One of our newbies today, JBS Steve, the Spaniard in the Haas, takes P3. He'll be very happy with that for his debut. Hopefully he can continue that into the race. Hartmann P4, he'll be happy as well as Lifebout in P5, by far his best qualifying. Championship leader Tinoz takes P6, but he'll be happy to be 4 places ahead of his championship rival Madman in P10. Hephaestus P7, Pommy Alex P8, and Monkey Mafia P9. As I said, Madman P10. Crozer down in P11, TTV Max P12 on his return, then Scott Rowley, QB, Jamie F1, the newbie, unfortunately unable to set a time, and then was it Muhiti and Scott Rowley at the back.
Not a good time for the Brits of APPF1 as they're occupying positions 10th and below, other than I believe Muhiti, who has the Turkish flag flying, but it is dry under the lights of Singapore, so the drivers will be happy to see that, but that doesn't mean it can't can't rain halfway through this race this evening, so we'll have to wait and see what happens with that as we begin the countdown to the grid. Just 15 seconds before the formation lap can go underway. And I kept meaning to take a look back at our season predictions thus far, and I haven't done so. I'm not going to be here next week, so I can't do it then. So it'll have to be the race after that that we have a little look back to see how they're going thus far. A little update. It would have been perfect to do it this week, but I completely forgot. As we're halfway through. But RJ leads his first ever formation lap in Tier 2, and he'll be very excited. LB, he'll be in great stead to win this race this evening if he can hold it together in the Mercedes, but he should actually be in a Red Bull. We'll let him off this time. WS Steve, it's a good qualifying for him for his debut to debut to Tier 2 and racing with us in APPF1, so good luck. As Krauser and Stingray are both disqualified from the session, it's not a great start for the Red Bull or the Aston Martin, as they will have cold tyres. Hartmann, I'm not sure if this is the first time he's out-qualified his teammate, but he'll definitely be happy to have done so. Great qualifying from him and from Lifebout just behind him in the Aston Martin. Tinoz in amongst the pack, but he's done this before. He starts in amongst the field. He has a decent start, and he just finds himself being on the podium. He's very consistent. He knows what he's doing, and that's why he's leading this championship. Hephaestus is his second race back with us. He's been away a little while, and he's doing well in that Scarlet Red Ferrari there. Pommy Alex, the People's Champion, of course. If you're not following Pommy Alex and his exploits on the racetrack, then what are you doing? He is a future champion in my eyes, but I don't have any favourites. I can't. Monkey Mafia, he's had up and down success. You saw him on the podium last week. He'll be looking to try and do that again. Madman, not where he wants to be this session. He's on the hard tyres, interestingly, and I've actually not popped up the tyre strategies. A few drivers opted for the hard tyres outside, from 10th downwards. Crowd's obviously disqualified from this formation. That TTV Max returning to the track after a little bit of a hiatus away from the racing. It'll be good to see him back. Scott Trolley, his second race with us, looking to secure some decent points and a decent race. QB, of course, one of the most consistent drivers, always finishes a race no matter what position he's in, never finds the need to retire the car. Muhiti should be in a Ferrari, perhaps didn't pick his car in time, and Jamie F1, not the best start to his debut with us in APPF1 Tier 2, but there are no points for qualifying as the drivers line up on the grid, waiting for the 5 red lights to get this qualifying session, race session, underway. Very mixed strategy. RJ's got it all to do here off the line on those medium tyres. It's 3, 4, 5 red lights for the Singapore Grand Prix. And away they go. It looks like a good start from LB, who on those softer tyres. I'm not sure what's going on at the minute. RJ's got away well, and it's very close to this contact, and that's LB around.
Whoa!
That
and
was
Madman's
huge.
taken damage as well. Towards the back, Madman's taken damage as the cars ahead of him braked for the spinning LB. So Madman's going to have to be on a trip to the pits, so not the best start for him at all. Tinnell's already up to P5. And Lifebout onto the podium at the moment in P3. Crozer and Monkey Mafia side by side. Who's going to take the corner? Monkey Mafia goes very deep. Crozer goes even deeper and just about manages to stay ahead, but breaks very late into the next corner and concedes the position back. I'm not sure if that was deliberate or not. Maybe he felt like he got the position off track. Jamie F1, by the way, up to P11 from the back of the grid.
What a start.
6 places. What a start from the debutant in the Alpine as Scott Rowley goes very deep into the corner just ahead of him, and the next one as well. So Jamie will be seeing that and hoping to get past the Alpha as soon as he can. LB
looking to set the move up. Here he goes. He's going up the inside, up Andrews Avenue. Andrews Avenue goes very, very deep. That's not St Andrews Avenue, that's Esplanada. But anyway, I'm getting my parts of the track confused, but losing the position after going a bit too deep. And actually, Pommy Alex was very lucky to miss the side of Krause's car as he went deep. He just braked in time. But I'm sure we're going to be seeing that turn 1 incident in the steward's room later on, as that to me looked very, very sketchy.
Indeed, Scott Rowley gets himself a 3-second time penalty already, so that will not serve him well for the rest of the race. Here comes Jamie again down the inside of the Alfa Romeo, and this time I think that will be the move done. Yeah, indeed, Scott concedes that time. TTV Max going to be looking for a piece of the pie as well, just behind in the McLaren. But RJ Blair, 1.4 seconds clear of JBS Steve on the medium tyres. So RJ currently controlling this race and going for his first ever Tier 2 win. Here comes TTV Max at the back as well, down the inside of Scott Rowley. It's deja vu as he goes very, very deep. Is Scott Rowley going to cut back on the inside? No, he's not. He's going to leave that one be, and TTV Max gets himself ahead. Madman does indeed come into the pits. He's gone on to the mediums, so very, very unlucky start for the Williams, but it's not like we haven't seen him come back from unlucky starts before, so do keep an eye on the championship contender. But currently the leader in P5.
Wow, this is an ideal situation for AlphaTauri at the moment. They're running P4 and 5 at the moment. They're in a close fight with Red Bull for the Constructors' Championship, and that lap 1 incident between LB and RJ could be a defining moment and see the Constructors' lead change hands. But I won't speak too soon, as we're only 2 laps into this race at the moment here, and the race has calmed down a little bit, but it looks like LB's on the hunt to try and make up some positions once more. He's right on the back of Scott Rowley here, and I'm sure he'll be setting up that move as we go down to turn 1.
RJ Bless sets the fastest lap on those mediums, so he is absolutely loving it out there. 1.9 seconds is the gap, 2.0, so JBS Steve not able to catch, and Lifebout is approaching the Haas from behind as well, as is Hartmann. Tinnels has fallen back a little bit from his teammate, 1.1 seconds between them, but as you say, the AlphaTauris will be very happy about this. They're only 3 points behind Red Bull going into this race.
Oh, here comes LB. Oh, that's very tight between the two of them as they go onto the Raffles Boulevard. I think LB had to sort of get out of the way there, but he's claimed the position of the Alfa Romeo, almost coming to blows with that Alfa Romeo in the process. And I think Scott Rowley's going to come back at him. He's give it a go, but LB's covered him off and gone deeper into the corner.
That would have been one hell of a dive bomb if he'd gone for that. I'm very glad he didn't. But currently the biggest battle on track is Lifebout, just behind JBS Steve. Hartmann's in with a shout as well, just behind. So Lifebout is in dreamland at the moment. He hasn't really found himself in podium contention in Tier 2 before, so I have noticed over the course of this season he has gotten much faster than he was at the start of the season. Maybe not more consistent, which is a problem, but he's definitely gotten better, and getting his maiden podium would absolutely prove that, but I don't want to quite jinx him yet. JBS Steve is losing out a lot though.
Yeah, this could be, I mean, for Lifebout, this could be a turn of some positive of energy for him. All it takes is one good race, really. And if he can keep his head down, keep his cool, and he can finish on the podium here this evening, which would be a great result for him. He's got Hartmann chasing him down though, so I won't speak too soon, as that AlphaTauri is looking to snatch the podium away from him. But I will say about Lifeboat, I had a great battle with him in Tier 1 last week. It's the rare chance I got to race in Tier 1, and going side by side through Sector 1 of Japan is no mean feat, and well, Lifeboat and I managed to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'd say if you'd done that at the start.
Here comes Stingray. Sorry, they're going side by side. That's very close between the two of them. I'm surprised that's not been heavier contact than that. Whoa. As these two are really going at it. Stingray almost into the wall, very Michael Schumacher-esque. As again, there's a bit of contact there. I think we might have to be looking at that one later on this evening. But these two racing very, very hard.
That was very, very deep from Scott Rowley, and there wasn't really much Stingray could do about that. I think the Alfa Romeo at some point has just got to accept the Aston Martin is faster and let him by. But by the looks of it, I don't think he will. Here comes Stingray again, down the inside, ascend into that corner at the end of the start of Sector 3, and this time he has made the move stick. He'll be very happy with that move. Scott Rowley, maybe not so much. He goes into the back of the Aston Martin, brakes far too late, loses some front wing, and Scott Rowley, I think, needs to go back and look at his braking points on this track.
Yeah. I'll go back to the fight at the front as Lifeboat, the Haas of JB Steve, Lifeboat and Hartmann all in a three-car train as RJ has checked out for this race. I will say Singapore must be one of RJ's favourite tracks. I've tried chasing him around here before, as it's one of my favourite circuits. He's very fast, but I did manage to catch him once I was able to find a rhythm a little while back, but I'll carry on. I'll stop talking about my previous exploits, and we'll carry on with the racing action here as these three are fighting away.
Tommy, Alex and Crows are side by side. Sorry to cut you off through the start of Sector 2, and Pommy Alex, I'm not sure if he made the move or stayed ahead, but they were side by side through a lot of the track there. I just about saw it in time, and Crows is going to be looking to get his way through once again.
Try and keep an eye on these battles as they happen. Hephaestus now catching on to the back of Tinoz, who is 1.6 seconds away from his teammates. So the softs working out. I mean, I think we're going to be seeing the sort of turnover point for strategies now as the soft starts to degrade. The tyre wear is very heavy around here, from what I can remember. So the softs won't go too much longer, I wouldn't have thought.
Yeah, it's a tricky one, the strategy around here. You want to go soft medium, but they just it's so hard to make them last that long. So the guys starting on hards will be ones to watch. Although Muhiti and Madman
getting very close. He had a little look at Lifeboat there, but he's decided against it. It'll be Raffles Boulevard this is decided, I think, as the three of them go down towards turn number 5. It's turn 5. Very tricky with kinks in the circuit.
Here comes Lifeboat.
Lifeboat looking to the outside, which will then turn into the inside for the next part of the corner. He's up into P2. Lifeboat's having a whale of a time out there, and Hartmann's trying to get through as well, but he can't find his way past the Haas of JB Steve, who loses a position to Lifeboat, who's having one of the best races he's had here in Tier 2.
Absolutely. Jamie LB and also Scott Rowley, by the way, all peel into the pits. Jamie might have had some damage, I think, because he lost a position to TTV Max before he went in. So, yeah, well, yeah, Scott did. Yeah, not sure about that one. They'll definitely be hoping for a safety car. I'd be surprised if we didn't see a safety car today around Singapore, but you never know. You never know. You can never bank on a safety car. Put it that way.
I'll tell you what. Here's an interesting fact. Well, I was doing a bit of research into Singapore this evening. A few things. So I think there's been 21 safety cars at Singapore since 2019, or as of 2019, or something like that. It was the wording. It was weird. And since the inception of the Singapore Grand Prix, there's at least been one safety car at every race.
Well, We'll see if that trend continues as Hartman and JBS Steve both come into the pits for a new set of tyres. Those softs are not going to the end, and Hartman uses the wrong white line as his indicator for when the pit lane speed limit is, and loses a bunch of time for doing that. Actually, he must have lost at least a second. So we'll have to see how much that's going to affect him. He's onto the mediums. JBS Steve also onto the mediums. Crozer into the pits for the mediums as well. So it's the changeover point is coming, and Stingray I think we'll see it come in as well. He's the only one left.
Meanwhile, Pommy Alex getting very close to the back of that Alpine of Monkey Mafia. He's not quite able to make the move stick yet, but he's staying with him. That's all he's got to do to try and set up a move. Perhaps he'll look to set up a move after the Anderson Bridge at the hairpin there. We're not sure. We'll have to keep watching this action as it unfolds. Pommy Alex trying to find a way through. He's not quite finding it, as it's a little bit tough to make moves around here, but it definitely can happen. There is enough room for it. So he's just about being patient and being as respectful to one another on the circuit as possible. Here comes Pommy Alex again. It's a bit too short of a run down to the next corner to make a move unless you get the better exit. So Pommy Alex going to be able to stick behind him for a little bit longer. Just watching them come through this next section now. We'll have a look and see what Pommy Alex can do. He's looking like he's slightly quicker through this section than Monkey Mafia, but Monkey Mafia not folding to the pressure.
Madman as well, trying to get his way past QB as soon as possible. I think he will manage that up towards the next corner now in this DRS zone. QB's not going to fight that, no. He lets the Williams through, and that's the other thing about QB. If he's got a faster car behind him, he doesn't give them too much trouble. He knows he's in his own race and just wants to get points on the board. And it's what always serves him so well.
Yeah, that's it. I'm not sure I could say the same about myself. I just love racing.
Here comes Pommy Alex now in the McLaren just behind Monkey Mafia. He's got the DRS. He's using the overtake button down the inside of the Alpine. The Alpine's going to try and stick it around the outside, but he's run out of room in the end and has to concede the position as LB now sets the fastest lap, taking it off RJ, who is in full control of this race at the moment.
Yeah, certainly so. I'll be glad that he got himself a permanent drive for Tier 2. He was a reserve for the first probably about 4 or 5 rounds of the championship, but he's finally a permanent driver. We'll have to have a look back at the standings to see whereabouts he is. I'm not sure he's too far up there.
He's P11 at the moment.
P11. I think a few bad results have seen him down there, but tonight he's definitely going to... Well, there's no fat lady singing quite yet, but this could be a great race for RJ in the Alfa Romeo.
Absolutely. I mean, at the moment he goes up to P9 because SW and One Wing both, well, obviously One Wing, but SW is not here today, unfortunately. So, as well as
Jamie F1 getting I think QB left in the room purposely, but a sneaky move up the inside of the hairpin sees him get past QB.
But yeah, as I was saying, as well as actually SW not being here, basically takes Williams out of the constructors fight, especially with Madman so far down. They're only 13 points behind Red Bull, but if both Red Bulls finish today, then and both AlphaTauris finish, then Williams are going to find themselves quite far down, unfortunately. But AlphaTauri still in a very good position at the moment. Hartman has pitted. He's down in P10, and Tinoz, of course, up in P3 at the moment, as we wait for those hard tyre runners to pit. And by the way, Stingray still out on those softs.
Wow. He's really trying to take them as far as he can, trying to get his money's worth. But those guys who have... the other soft runners are only 2 seconds behind, and they're catching him quite quickly. So he's really going to lose out to those guys. As what we're looking to see is when the medium runners start coming in. I think it would be somewhere around the lap 12 to 13, maybe 15 mark. Somewhere within that sort of 12 to 15 window, I'd imagine. Onto perhaps hard tyres. I didn't see the AWS graphic at the start of the race, so...
Me neither. It's a tricky call. Do you go for the aggressive two-stop and hope you can get past people, and hope for a safety car as well, of course, or go for that more conventional...
3 seconds for Hartman.
Oh, that could be crucial towards the end of the race because he was quite far up the grid before he pitted. By the way, I think I should mention Pommy Alex is in P5 again.
His favourite position.
His favourite position, absolutely. He loves it in P5.
He really does. Stingray is looking to find his way past the McLaren of TTV Max as JB Steve is now caught up. Stingray going up the inside of TTV Max. He's going to find a heavy resistance from Max. He loves to fight, loves to defend his position. He goes very deep on the next corner, cutting across the circuit to try and stay with Stingray, but he manages to get the job done and get past JB Steve now looking for a way past the Papa Orange McLaren. As that's Scott Rowley out of the race. He's crashed.
He's out of the race.
That's the safety car. There it is.
Poor timing for JBS Steve. He was just about to have a sniff of getting past TTV Max. But the safety car comes out just before he can have a go. So that will neutralize the race. That's big news for the medium tyre runners. And by the way, huge news for Stingray in the Aston Martin, who's taken those softs 9 laps now. It will be 10 by the time he comes in, but that's a massive advantage to him to have that safety car come out for him at this time. But those top 6, huge benefit to them.
Is this all part of the Aston Martin master plan? Who knows? I mean, I think is the safety car in Aston Martin around here? I think it is. I can't remember. I've not seen the safety car around here in a while.
I think it's. I think it might be.
In comes RJ Blair. Let's see about Lifeboat. Does he come in? Yes, of course he does.
I think, 5-second penalty to RJ for speeding. Oh, it's a disaster for the Alfa Romeo. Just as he was in full control of this race and looking to speed away again once the safety car came in, he's gotten himself a penalty, and he's onto the mediums again, so he's going to be stopping again. Lifebout onto mediums as well. Tinoz, he's going on to hards, so he'll be going to the end. The championship leader, Hephaestus, onto mediums, and a change of front wing as well. Yeah,
Softs
and Monkey Mafia the same. Softs, interesting. So definitely the two-stop is what the drivers are favouring at the moment, but Tinoz definitely going to be looking to go to the end on those hards. I can't see any other reason he would put them on. So he's in P3. Worth a look, the championship leader.
Yeah, Mike's a little bit crackly again, guys, just to let you know, while we're in this neutralised portion of the race. But Madman will be happy to see this safety car come on out, as he's been way down the order at the minute, and a driver of his calibre will be able to get himself way back up there, but he'll have to navigate TTV Max, who is very, very rugged defence on the circuit, and that Papaya Orange car is one not to be underestimated in terms of its defensive capabilities. But we'll be waiting a little while as the drivers come along. Mahiti will be glad to join on the back. He's almost a lap down. He's probably one sector away from being lapped down, actually.
Yeah. He's very, very lucky to be still on the lead lap here. He's going to be able to catch back up and get himself back in this race, which I'm sure will be very very pleasing for him.
You've either got to not be a lap down or be between the top 2 cars to unlap yourself around here in Formula 1.
Yeah, exactly. And only if they're fighting for the championship.
Yeah, that's it. Oh dear. But Tinoz, Mr. Consistent, he's found himself up there. He's going to be very happy to see that his championship rival was 10 positions back. But Ollie Oliver, like I said before, I'm sure he'll find a way to navigate the grid, and this revitalises the race for us a little bit, as all the drivers kind of got themselves into a rhythm and had started stretching out their legs. But yeah, it is an Aston Martin safety car. We were right. So perhaps this is all part of the master plan for Aston Martin. Looking for a good finish, but knowing knowing what happens here in Tier 2, it will mean that both Aston Martins cause a huge crash, don't finish the race, and see themselves not scoring any points after what amounted to be a great weekend, well, great evening for them. So used to saying sort of weekend as Formula One. It's really weird.
Yeah, we do have a habit of cursing people here in Tier 2.
Yes.
Yeah, don't count your chickens just yet. Jamie F1 down in P14 are two newbies today. So yeah, after a fantastic start for the Alpine, he's found himself towards the back again, unfortunately. JBS Steve, though, still in P4 and still running strong in that Haas, so hopefully he can have a good finish to this race. There's still about 20 laps to go, so we're not even halfway through.
He's just put those tyres on, and he's changing them again. Well, unless he didn't come in the last time, I'm not sure, but he's way down the order. I don't know if the safety car's going to wait for him. It could well come in this lap.
It could.
He's 53 seconds back from QB at the moment. I mean, they're going fairly slow, but I'm not sure he's going to catch that back up in time. We'll have to wait and see, because the safety car will normally come in at it will normally announce it's coming in just as it goes underneath the grandstand. I think it's a grandstand there, I'm not actually too sure. It goes underneath that little bridge part on the second set of chicanes in Sector 3, so we'll wait and see what happens. But everybody warming up those tyres. Tin Oz is going to have to really put some work in to get those hards warm, as try as you might, you'll never get them fully warm on a safety car restart. And if you are able to do that, then I want to know your secrets. I'll pay good money. I've got to win a sprint championship at some point.
You're gonna have to wrestle it off my cold, dead hands.
That's it.
Yeah, it looks like Muhiti is going to catch up. Well, he was going to catch up regardless of whether it came in this lap or not, but it is going to go out another lap and wait for him. So we've got a little bit of time to spare. Yeah, RJ, I believe, has led every single lap so far.
Yes, he certainly has, and as long as nothing goes wrong here, he may continue to do the same, but Lifebout will be definitely looking to challenge on this safety car restart, as it's not a position he finds himself in often, but I'm sure he's going to try his best to make the most of it.
Yeah, for sure, and he knows that RJ has that 5-second penalty as well, so all he has to do is stay within that range. But of course, are they going to get those mediums to the end? Well, no, they're not, because they've only been on mediums so far, so they are going to have to stop again. They're going to have to come in for the softs towards the end of this race. When is that going to be? How much is that going to affect them? Is Tin Oz going to come into play to win this race because of that? We'll have to wait and see what the better strategic call is. There's still plenty of time to go in this race as the safety car comes round to complete what should be its final lap on the circuit for now.
Yeah, well, I think my bet is that they're banking on there being a second safety car somewhere around lap 25, I'd have said.
Yeah.
That would be the perfect kind of time for it to come out. Tin Oz will struggle a little bit to the start of the stint, as he won't have the same grip, but once those mediums start to fall off, I think Tin Oz will start slowly reeling them in, and obviously these two have to come in again, so they will forfeit their positions eventually, whether that be on the circuit or in the pit lane, as it is coming in this lap. So it announces it coming in a little bit earlier than normal. I swear it comes in I swear it's like, yeah, we're coming in here, but like we're at the next set of chicanes, but perhaps not. I don't know, I've always got memories of it coming in around here, but either way, RJ will become your effective safety car, leading every lap thus far, getting pole position. It's Could be a clean sweep for RJ this weekend. This evening. I've done it again. But when
a Grand Slam definitely on the cards for RJ here. He won't be thinking about that, of course, but as it looks like he's gone.
He's gone.
No,
he
hasn't.
No, I don't know.
He's gone quite yet.
Not quite
now
yet.
He's gone.
Now he goes.
Oh, he's doing a bit of faking. I wouldn't do that, RJ. I wouldn't do that, mate. He's gone now. Lifebout hasn't been able to take advantage. Neither has Tinoz. I wonder if there may have been some...
LB's got up again, up past LB as Monkey Mafia. He's looking for a way past the Faceless Arm, but it's not going to happen now. Madman past Jamie F1. He's going to be looking to try and make as many positions up as he can. I think Jamie F1 actually coming back at a championship contender, and it's contact. He's right in the wall there, and that is no wing for Madman. So this weekend going from bad to worse for the championship protagonist, and he is not going to be too happy about that one. I definitely think we'll see that in the steward's room this evening.
Absolutely, I think he'll be furious in that cockpit. Hephaestus and Crozer having a big battle as well. Monkey Mafia trying to take advantage, but Crozer up into P7 with Hephaestus sandwiched between them. RJ already a 1.2, 1.3 second gap to Lifebout, so he is still loving it out there. Tinoz is keeping JBS Steve behind and staying just about with those top two for now, which is what he needs to do. He needs to make
very close to the back of that Red Bull. Sorry, guys.
He was, yeah. TP Max and Jamie F1 going at it as well. Jamie F1 down the inside of the McLaren. Is he going to make a send? No, he's not. Max covers it off anyway, but Jamie decides against that one. For now, Hephaestus still behind Crozer in that Red Bull.
His form nose to Diffuser at the moment as they're coming through Sector 3 now. Faces will be looking to set up the move on the Red Bull. Not the best weekend for anybody at the top of the championship at the minute, other than Tinoz, who is proving to be worthy of his name at the minute. But I think Hephaestus is going to go on the attack. He's going to look for the move up into turn 1, is he? No, he's going to wait for the run down Raffles Boulevard, I think. I don't think DRS has been activated just yet, unless I missed the prompt, as Jamie's into the pit lane, as is Madman. That is a real shame for him. He'll be praying for that second safety car to bring him back into this race to get him some decent points here. But here comes Hephaestus Arm. It's looking to the outside. Krauser defends. Very deep, and he's going to pay for that one as he loses the position to the Ferrari. And he goes up the inside. A bit of contact, and Monkey Mafia gets involved now as well, and he claims the position off Monkey Mafia, off of Hephaestus even, as Monkey Mafia gets up into P8 now.
That was one hell of a send from Crozer. I did not expect that at all. I don't know if Hephaestus will be too happy about it, but as he gets himself a 3-second time penalty, Monkey Mafia just behind on those soft tyres. He needs to get past this Red Bull as soon as he can to try and take advantage of those softs. Of course, they're both going to have to pit at some point, but it's just whether Monkey Mafia can take that advantage, as I said, and get past and try and ride off into the sunset a bit. Lifebout staying with RJ. Tinoz has dropped back a little bit. LB's got himself a 3-second time penalty as well. But yeah, Tinoz has dropped off a little bit. 3.8 now, so it's going to be up to 4 seconds, but he's still behind. He's still just about staying near to them, which is what he needs to do. As you say, DRS enabled. Lifebout just not quite in range. It's 1.0, 1.1, it's 1.0, 034, 001. I don't think he got it. So he's going to have to wait for the next lap and try and catch RJ there, but if RJ can pull clear, then it's not going to matter.
But I doesn't have my telemetry enabled for the first 16 laps. I'm ever so sorry. I was like, I can't see whether he's got the DRS or
Monkey
not.
Mafia, sorry to interrupt. Round the outside, it's going to be the inside for the next corner into the braking zone. Crozer tries to outbrake the Alpine.
He's looking for the switchback.
The outside line. That's no way. Is that going to work?
Hephaestus goes up the inside.
Well, I was not expecting that. But he doesn't make anything of it.
Oh,
LB comes up the inside as well. Contact LB into the wall. and spins the car back round, and he's going to have to come back. I didn't see it. Oh, as Hephaestus goes into the back of Crozer now and loses some wing. It's all happening. Hephaestus is going to have to come in. LB is going to have to come in. It's hard to tell from the onboards, really, but I'm sure we'll see all of that in the stewards room later.
Oh, here comes Hephaestus again. He's looking for the inside. This is very aggressive battling between the load of them. They need to just be careful and show some respect for one another on the circuit, as it's very tight and twisty. They're really going at it, the Ferrari and the Red Bull, at the minute. If Faces isn't too careful, he'll lose a few more positions between the two of them, as Monkey Mafia has just gone. He's up the road. He's off chasing after Pommy Alex now, as Lifebout is still staying with the front at the minute, and Tinoz is fending off JBS Steve, his teammate, and Pommy Alex on those hard tyres at the minute. Faces looking for another move again. He's looking to the outside this time. I'm not sure he's actually got any damage. The contact must have been light enough. There's a great switch back from Hephaestus, and it's very close racing between them. Stingray trying to get involved. TTV Max going after Stingray. This battle is incredible to watch.
It is indeed. We've lost a couple of drivers during the battle, unfortunately, but here comes Hephaestus now. He's pushing the Red Bull through the corner. That could have gone very badly. Round the outside goes the Ferrari. Crozer very deep. Hephaestus is going to have the outside. Crozer the inside. Is he going to send it again? No, he's not. So Hephaestus takes the position. Stingray has a huge tank slapper on the exit. Lets TTV Max through, but manages to save the car before he ends up in barrier. And wow.
As Madman has jumped LB, who's gone into the pits. He's on the soft tyres. He's got a long way to go for those soft tyres to reach the end. I think this has been an awful race for LB and Madman at the moment, and the safety car is the only thing that's going to bring them back into it. But let's jump to the front. Is there any action going on in this battle for P3 at the moment? No, not quite. I'm just thinking about it as well. Either way you slice it, RJ's going to have to suffer from that penalty. Whether he can't go to the end on the race on those tyres that he's on at the minute, because he started on mediums. But he's either going to have to serve the penalty in the pit lane or serve it at the end of the race.
Sumo, Lifebout could win this race.
He could. He very much could. Tinoz is dropping and dropping.
RJ gets himself another penalty as well. That's 8 seconds of penalties for the Alfa Romeo, which is surely going to drop him out of contention for the win now.
Yeah, certainly. So even if he does serve that penalty in the pit lane, Lifebout is really doing a great thing. Could be a miracle. A miracle
Stingray's out
for Aston Martin. Stingray's out of the race. He's crashed, and that's the second safety car.
Another safety car. There you go. That's what Madman and LB needed. Jamie as well, and Muhiti for that matter. So they're all going to be neutralized yet again. It's interesting. I'm interested to see what RJ is going to do, and people like Lifebout, RJ, JBS, Steve, and Hartman, I think, will pit. Tinoz as well. It's interesting to see what he's going to do. All of those guys who pitted at the previous safety car have got a big decision to make now.
But this Ghost, I think, might just see Lifebout take the lead. Unless Tinoz stays out on those hard tyres, which, I don't know, I think might be a mistake. If I was Tinoz, I'd take a risk on softs or play it safe on mediums. That's what I would do.
Those hards are clearly very slow. He was losing, what, 1.5 seconds to them every lap.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's tricky. But if he does stay out, remember his disadvantage from picking those hards. This safety car has neutralized that, because all of those 7 or 8 seconds that he lost at the previous safety car, he's now gained them back again. So he's got fewer laps to lose time now. So it's a crazy decision for him. RJ and Lifebout both in. Tinoz is in, as you said. So he doesn't risk it. JBS Steve also in. Hartman in. Pommy Alex. That's a double stack for the Alpha Tauris. They're going to struggle. Pommy Alex in. Monkey Mafia in. Hephaestus in. Everyone's in. Crozer. T3 Max. QB looks like he's coming in. Madman is too far back to tell, but everyone into the pits for the soft tyres. Some for the mediums. Tinoz for the mediums. Lifebout and RJ the softs. JBS Steve mediums. Pommy Alex also onto the softs. Hephaestus has gone to the hards. So yeah, wow, with about 13 laps left of this race, Are the softs going to make it to the end here? Or rather, that's not the question. They will make it to the end, but are they going to be good enough in the early part of the stint to make up for when they're going to be awful at the end of the race?
Certainly, but if you're just tuning in with us here at Tier 2, you are not being deceived. Like, this is not a lapped car, this is Lifebout leading the pack around under safety car at the very moment, who is having one hell of a weekend after finding himself on P5 on the grid. And, well, if he manages to hold off the guys behind him, RJ is going to have to suffer to that 3-second time penalty. And if he can manage to finish the race in this position, well, I know who's getting this commentary driver of the day.
Oh, absolutely. Jamie F1, by the way, stayed out. The only car on the track to stay out. Muhiti as well has become the second car to stay out. Madman and LB both pit. So Jamie and Muhiti, the only two cars to stay out. They're going to the end, but it's another two cars for Madman and LB to pass. And Madman's not going to be happy to be behind that Alpine yet again after what happened last time.
No, certainly not. Madman, this is Madman's probably final chance to get himself up the points order at the minute. As he needs to try and catch up, or Tinos is really going to open up that gap. It's 3 points at the moment between the two of them, but it's really going to open up by what, say, like
11 points.
11 points as it stands. There you go.
But this comes another issue, and now we turn into a mental issue for Madman now, because he's right at the back of the grid. He knows he has to catch up. He knows he has to make up some positions, because Tinos has looked faultless this season so far. When he's in good positions like this, he doesn't usually, well, he hasn't at all this season bottled it. So Madman's going to be thinking, is Tinos going to bottle it like this at any point during the season? And he can't assume that he will. So Madman knows he has to make up positions. He knows he has to make up points in order to stay in this championship battle, or risk finishing second for the second season in a row. But the issue for him is that going to make desperation set in? Is he going to make rash moves and perhaps take himself even further down the grid, even further out of this race, as he and Muhiti both in? So Muhiti has come in. Jamie has still stayed out. So yeah, Jamie, the only person on track not to pit under this safety car.
I think Madman might be going in for some... Is this a new set of softs? No, yeah, it is a new set of softs. I'm not sure
I
why...
think he might have taken damage. I think he took damage while trying to get back up to the safety car, which is not what he would have wanted. Is he going to come out ahead of LB even? LB is just behind. It's going to be close. He's just ahead of, well, the Mercedes, which should be the Red Bull. So P2 and P3 in the championship, currently last and second last in this race, which is... well, it's quite something. Crozer could take P3 in the championship as well off his teammate at this rate. And Pommy Alex is also in that conversation, up in P5 as usual. So he's only 8 points behind LB and 3 points behind Crozer. So as it stands, Pommy Alex takes P3 in the championship, but only as it stands.
Yeah, certainly. So I think we'll be looking to get ourselves back underway very soon.
MX is asking how big are the penalties. RJ has 3 seconds. Well, RJ, Hartman, Hephaestus, Crozer, and QB all have 3 seconds. Jamie, Muhiti, and LB all have 6.
There we go, then I'll pop it up on here as well while we wait for safety car. A few things popping off in Discord. Madman not happy at all with the way this race has played out for him. But he's just got to get his head down and try and scavenge some points and forget about it. But I think Lifebout has... No, not quite. It looked like he went for a second there. Few shenanigans under safety
Now he's
car,
gone.
but now he's gone.
No, he's not. He's
No.
done the same as RJ. You can't do that, guys. You can't do that. You're going to cause issues. JBS Steve just behind Tinos, trying to take advantage of this restart. Lifebout has gotten away from RJ for now, but is it going to stay like that? As RJ looks to maybe get down the inside, not quite. But Kyo, it's that Crozer who's lost it. Crozer into the wall at turn number 3. So all the way to the back of the grid he goes.
RJ is looking for a move on Lifebout at the minute. Is he going to go for it? No, he's going to stay in behind. Sorry to cut you off there, Ghost.
No worries. There's battles at the back as well. Muhiti, Madman and Jamie all battling as well as Muhiti dives down the inside of Jamie. That's a move that I did not expect, as Madman has a little look as well, but doesn't quite have quite as much bottle as Muhiti did for that previous corner. As Madman again trying to find a way through, it's just can't find a way through at the moment. It's such a tight, twisty section. There's no way to get through, even if the car ahead makes a mistake, which is happening plenty. QB. Oh, has Madman lost it, maybe? He lost a couple of positions there. Jamie gets past QB. Eventually, Muhiti down the inside of QB as well. And QB has hit the wall and lost his front wing. Madman and LB side by side. P2 and P3 in the championship. LB wins out for now, so Madman down in P13.
Wow, this racing at the back, getting very feisty back there as the safety car is, this post-safety car period is just settling in now. RJ again on the attack. He's all over the back of Lifebout, but he's got a 3-second time penalty. So even if he does get ahead of the Aston Martin, he's got 3 seconds to try and make up. And with the pace that Lifebout was able to show in the last stint, I don't think RJ is going to manage it.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, Tinos is right with them as well on those mediums. So when we get to towards the end of this race, Tinos is in the conversation. He's not going to fight this too hard because I'm not sure if he knows how far down Madman is. But if he does know, he's not going to fight too hard as Pommy Alex gets his way past JBS Steve in a place you don't usually see overtakes. Is Steve going to have another go? The Haas? No, he's going to sit behind very sensibly into the next corner, what used to be the Singapore Sling. And Pommy Alex up into P4. What? He's not in P5? What's going on?
Yeah, that's not allowed. I have to dust off the break Pommy Alex button.
Jamie's lost it. Sorry to interrupt. He's gone into the wall at the hairpin, so he's down to P13 again, and Madman will be glad to see the back of the Alpine after what happened earlier. Muhiti gets himself another 3-second time penalty as he tries to get past TTV Max, who's making it difficult as usual. Madman trying to find a way through. Muhiti's got to look in front and behind him and nearly does in fact go into the wall. I don't think he took damage just ahead, but Madman is seeing these mistakes and he knows his time will be near to get past. It should be on this next straight. Lifebout sets the fastest lap. Is he going to hold it? Here comes Madman now. He's just behind the Mercedes of Muhiti. He's not going to have DRS, but he's going to go down the inside of the Mercedes, and Muhiti lets him go by the looks of it. Very sensible stuff from the Mercedes. He knew the Williams was faster.
Yeah, certainly. Madman is definitely using his previous experiences, fueling him to try and get this charge up the grid, and it looks like he's about to take TTV Max at the next corner as the end of the Raffles Boulevard, and he does, setting fast to Sector 1 in the process. This is the type of response you need to have to a bad race, is just to make the most of what opportunities you've got left. No use moaning about it or carrying on, or just send it into the stewards at the end of the race and do the talking on track, because that's what matters in terms of championships and points. That's what racing's all about. Absolutely, man. I couldn't agree more. He's definitely fighting his way back up. Hephaestus is next on the hard, so that shouldn't be too difficult of a challenge. He should get him into turn 1, I would have thought, on those fresh softs. So Madman
And of course, EDA, Monkey Mafia, and Hartman both with penalties. Madman doesn't have any, so at the moment he's in a net P6, which is, I mean, what a recovery. He was P13 just a few laps ago.
Yeah, certainly. Madman is definitely a driver not to be underestimated. Yellow flag for QB back there. He must have had a little bit of an incident. But I think Madman has definitely got Hephaestus in his sights. Hephaestus on hard tyres. Very odd choice for the safety car restart. Madman just having a little look. He's not going to go for it yet. I think he'll wait for Raffles Boulevard. He'll wait for that long run down to that usual overtaking spot. And that's where I'll get the job done. We'll wait for that in a moment. RJ sticking with him, but Tinoz, crucially, he'd be in net P2 at this very moment.
Madman.
There he goes, up the inside, which will turn to the outside, but the job's done way before the braking zone. And Madman's going to focus on getting up to
and Max
Hartman.
as well, side by side, through the boulevard, and LB gets a huge snap of oversteer, nearly goes into the McLaren, but doesn't quite, and Max manages to keep the position for now from the Mercedes. Can LB respond again? Max covers him off up to the next corner. Don't go for it into the sling, LB. That's never going to go well. He's gone for it, and Max has gone round. We'll see that in the stewards, I think, as well.
Yeah.
I think we're going to have a busy night. But
I hope you're ready, Jacko.
Yeah, Muhiti trying to get past as well. Yeah, this is Jacko's initiation. It's the Tier 2 race in Singapore.
Yeah, that's it. That is certainly it, and Lifebout is doing one hell of a job. He's not cracking under the pressure. He's saving that ERS. He knows what he's doing. Tinoz has got a car to navigate, and I don't think RJ will want to let that position go without a fight. So Lifebout's got a little bit of work to do. I'm touching wood right now not to curse Lifebout. I want to see Lifebout on that top step of the podium.
Muhiti's gone.
That's Muhiti out of the race. And
it's
another safety car.
Big news, that is. So that's going to be another 3 laps with a neutralized race. Madman, I can't tell if this is good or bad for him, really. I think it's good because it means he has to do fewer laps. Who got a drive-through? Was that Pommy Alex who got a drive-through? No! No! It was! He's got a drive-through, the people's champion. He's going to go right to the back of the grid on the safety car restart.
Wow.
Disaster for the Australian.
Now, if you're in Lifebout's position, you're panicking at this point.
Yeah.
I think.
What
do you
do
stay out? Do you... well, has he got a fresh set of soft tyres? I'm not sure.
He should do, because qualifying was wet.
Tinoz, if I'm sat in Tinoz's position with 2 guys on softs during this safety car in the dying stages of the race, I'm sat here thinking, I've won this race.
Yeah.
He'll stay on those mediums. He doesn't need to come in. He'll make it to the end, no problem.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think Lifebout's got to risk it.
I think he's got to stay out.
He's got. If he comes in, that's it. He's got to risk it.
I agree. He either... I mean, it's either basically accepting that you're not going to win, or just trying to keep the faster car behind on a track where it's hard to overtake. I think he's got to go for it. He's got to stay out. We'll see what he does. RJ as well has got a tough decision. He's got that 3-second penalty still. So who's going to come in? Lifebout stays out. RJ fakes coming in. He dummies, but he stays out. Tinoz also stays out. Of course, Pommy Alex stays out, but he's going to drop to the back in the end. Yeah. QB's been lapped, unfortunately.
Hephaestus comes in. That's sensible. He was on the hard tyre.
Yeah, definitely. And LB's way behind. He's not even going to lose a position for this.
Yeah. Be about fastest lap for some of the guys a bit further down the order than they normally are. But Lifebout making the right call, I think. You've got to use the safety car. You've got to view the safety car as 2 things. Either it's an opportunity to get a pit stop, or it's an opportunity to extend the life of tyres that perhaps wouldn't go as far as you would have liked them to. So this is the best option for Lifebout at this stage of the race. As those softs, they don't last about long. This is normally the end of their life in Singapore, unless you're really gentle with them during the course of a lap. And I think he's going to get it. The safety car should be in around lap 27. Maybe
Yeah.
lap 28, as we've got a few cars that are waiting to catch back up. I think QB is in amongst there, who is a lapped car at this point, I believe.
He is. But yeah, I think this is exactly what the soft tyre runners needed. Because as you say, they're going to be able to extend the life of those tyres just that little bit longer. And it's just, Tinoz will be gutted to see that safety car because he was absolutely in the driving seat to win this race. If Lifebout just pulled a little bit further away from RJ, and Tinoz would have had the DRS, gotten past the Alfa Romeo pretty easily, and then it would just be one car to win the race. So this gives the soft tyre runners a lifeline that they didn't look to have had. JBS Steve, by the way, still running in P5. It's going to be P4 when Pommy Alex takes his penalty, and it might end up being P3 because RJ's got that penalty. If he can get a podium on his debut race, he is going to be delighted.
He'll have started. He'd have finished restarted as well.
Yeah.
I believe. Yeah, I think we're going to go for one more lap. The end of lap 27 will be when this safety car comes in. As you can see, Jamie F1 is that final dot there, just coming into sector 3 now. He'll be the last one to join on, and he should join on the back of the cars somewhere around sector 2 there. The Lifebout playing it cool. You wouldn't think it's his first time leading a race around in Tier 1, at 2 even. Getting my numbers mixed up, getting my days of the week mixed up, it's all going wrong here on my side. But Lifebout, with all the pressure on his shoulders, he's keeping it cool. He's got 2 fast and consistent drivers behind him, but he's not worried about that. He's worried about seeing that checkered flag at the end of the race and bringing it home for his first win here with us at APPF1, and it'll be a sight to see.
And you know what the other thing is with Lifebout this season? He hasn't finished a race yet. He's been in 3 races, hasn't finished any of them. So what a way to finish your first race it would be to get your first win. I really don't want to curse him. We have a habit of cursing people. I really do not want to curse him.
I just don't think we should. I think we should whip out the reverse psychology again.
Yeah, Lifebout's going to crash. It's all going to be over. I mean, he's shown that he's crashed before. It's obvious that he's going to crash. He's never going to win the race.
He'll do it in the most embarrassing way possible. It'll be a Romain Grosjean into the wall under safety car. I mean, doing that will definitely do it. Please don't do that, Lifebout. Maybe he's listening to us trying to curse him already.
Well, the safety car's in, so he's going to become the effective safety car. So when is he going to punch it? I mean, the nerves must be running for the Aston Martin now. What's he going to do? There's 4 laps to go in this race once they cross the line. 4 laps to keep behind a charging AlphaTauri on medium tyres. RJ's got the 3-second penalty, so he's not in the race. Watch for Pommy Alex pitting as well for his drive-through. Unfortunately, he's going to drop to the back. But here we go. Madman as well is one to watch.
Yeah, here we go. Then Lifebout's got it all to do. He's got his first win and finish of the season. Riding on this one, and he's not quite gone yet, but there he goes. RJ all over the back of him at the minute, but I think Lifebout's just caught him napping a little bit. Tinoz under pressure from Pommy Alex now, who's going to look round the outside. It will come to no avail as he comes into the pit lane at the end of this lap, but Lifebout stays in the lead. Madman up a position into P6, up ahead of Hartmann. He'll be looking to try and close that gap to Tinoz as much as he can. There's 3 wide, it down toward Ruffles Boulevard with Hartmann, Monkey Mafia in a face, just all going at it. Then there's LB looking to get involved in the action as well. They're going to go side by side on the Ferrari and the Mercedes. No, they're not. It's all faces looking to the outside of the Alpine, and he gets the move done.
What a move from Hephaestus. Absolutely Incredible late braking from the Ferrari, gets himself up into P8 and trying to put pressure on Hartmann. Madman in P6, as you said,
challenging
life bout to the wall! Life bout! He's lost his front wing. He's going to drop to the back.
Oh, and he's into the wall again. It was a bigger crash.
He's lost more of his front wing. He's going to drop to the back. I'm not sure what happened, but he's dropped. Oh, no.
It looked like RJ might have got involved in that one. I'm not sure. There's a lot going on at the minute.
There is a lot going on.
But I think RJ must have been up ahead of him at one point. I'm not sure. We missed what happened there. Oh, that is...
Heartbreak. Hephaestus down the inside of Monkey Mafia through the tunnel. He's made it stick. These two still battling. LB trying to get past Monkey Mafia as well. I think they're on the same number of penalties. Monkey Mafia goes very deep and lets everyone through. I think he might have damage. Is he coming in? Yeah, he's coming in, so he's got damage. Jamie goes very wide, and Crows is going to take advantage down the inside, makes the move, but he does have a 3-second time penalty. Monkey Mafia has retired. He will still score points. Lifebout's got a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. He's going to come out on softs, try and get the fastest lap at least.
Here comes LB. He's got up ahead of Hartmann there on the hunt. And these guys have been battling for quite some time now. TTV Max looking to get involved. He doesn't know where to go. He's going around the outside of the AlphaTauri though. Oh, almost contact between the two of them. And TTV Max, sorry, he's going to continue to go along, and he's going to get a position off of Hartmann at this point after... getting it on the corner after the DRS zone. Pommy Alex is going to have to come into the pits this lap or the next lap, otherwise get a 10-second time penalty. And Tinoz is currently the net leader of this race, and JBS Steve will be your P2 at the minute, and I think Madman, after a horrible race, will find himself on the podium.
It's absolutely incredible. Tinoz is going to be wondering how on earth that Williams is in the top 5. If he knew what was going on to Madman before, he is going to be just astounded that he sees his championship rival 2 places behind him again. He's still going to be extend his championship lead, but not by nearly as much as he would have hoped, as Pommy Alex comes in for his drive-through. DRS is enabled. 2 laps to go in this race. Can JBS Steve do anything here to try and win his debut race? RJ's still got that penalty.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, I think RJ's it's a done deal for RJ at this point. 10-lap-old soft tyres around Singapore. They're not going to be feeling good at all. And actually, Tinoz already setting up the move. DRS enabled. RJ's not going to fight that one. He's got no chance as Tinoz takes the lead of the race on lap 30 here with about 1 lap and a half to go. From this point onwards, he's going to put that car in between himself and JBS Steve. More importantly, between Ollie Oliver, who is more than likely finding himself on the podium after a horrible race here, getting involved in incidents that he would have wanted to avoid, and absolute heartbreak for Lifebout. I'm gutted. I don't know what happened. I don't know why, but I get the feeling he might have had some contact with RJ, or perhaps just RJ got ahead of him along the Raffles Boulevard. I don't know. We were watching the fight in the midfield while that all kicked off, but I think it's going to be a very busy night in the steward's room.
Yeah.
And we might have to pop a message to the Tier 2 guys when it comes to racing the street circuits.
I think it's going to be a bit more than just a message.
Yeah.
I think we're going to have to take some action in this tier, because this sort of thing is just not good enough. There's so many it's just poor awareness and just not enough respect being given to other drivers. Not to say this hasn't been a fantastic race. It's been brilliant to watch, but yeah. LB trying to get past Hephaestus for P5, not quite able to get down the inside. JBS Steve is going to be looking to get past RJ for P2. Tinoz is absolutely checked out on this final lap. LB round the outside of Hephaestus. The Ferrari trying to squeeze him, but LB is left enough room and gets himself up into P5. Is Hephaestus going to fight back? Yes, he is. He's going to go around the outside. He's done this before, but not this time. And he stays down in P6. Madman down the inside of JB Steve to go into P2, which would be a net P2. But he can't make the move stick. He's round the outside again.
This is very close racing.
Exit. Lifeout gets the fastest lap. But here comes LB now down the inside of Madman, who could lose another position. There's contact, and Madman loses the position to Hephaestus. It's all going on. I'm out of breath.
And he's round!
And Madman's round. Hephaestus. I'm running out of things to say.
That's a reset to track there too.
Down to P8. And dear,
Madman's
goes into
enough.
the wall. Oh dear. He's had enough. I mean, ignoring all of that, Tinoz, what a race from the championship leader. He's showing why he is there. Just riding on board with him as he comes across the line, I think he's the best person to ride on board with at the moment. I mean, when do you ever see this man in incidents? When do you ever see this man not take advantage? He wins the Singapore Grand Prix. What a race from Tinoz. RJ comes home in P3 in the end. He does get his podium. JBS Steve in P2 on his debut. What a race from him. TTV Max in P4 with LB down in P5. Hephaestus takes P6. Crozer P7. The Alpha Tauris do make up... in fact, don't make up that much on the Red Bulls today in the end. They do make up a few points, but I'm not sure it's going to be enough to take the championship lead. It will be close. Hartman P8, Pommy Alex P9 in the end after his drive-through, unfortunately. Jamie F1 P10 on his debut. Lifebout takes a very gutting P11.
Wow. That was one hell of a race to watch, I will admit. It had a lot of action. Entertainment value was definitely there, but aside from the commentary elements of everything and bringing you guys the action, the stewarding side of me now has to kick in. And, well, not Tier 2's brightest of moments. We started this season off with some awesome racing, respectful, clean, and I think we're slightly losing that at the moment, but I won't continue to bog the end of the stream down with the nitty gritty, as that is something that has to be sorted out within the Discord. But an incredible race sees Tinoz take the win, being Mr. Consistent, staying out of trouble and claiming the top step of the podium today. JBS Steve on debut converting a P3 in qualifying to P2 on his debut. A great race with the Spaniard in the Haas car there. Good job from him. He might be a future star of Tier 2 come next season, who knows. RJ Blair P3 after leading almost about half of the race, dropping down after getting penalties and having to deal with those. So that is your podium. TTV Max, a great P4 on his return to Tier 2. LB P5 giving us our top 5 for the race. Hephaestus, Krauser, Hartman, Pommy Alex and Jamie F1 make up the rest of the top 10 as Lifebout is P11 and Madman, QB, Monkey Mafia, Mahiti, Stingray and Scott Rowley making up the rest of the grid.
Well, regardless of everything that happened today, you can't take anything away from Tinoz.
No.
What a drive from him. He gets his second win of the season, his 6th podium in 7 races. He is, well, he's on fire. There's no other way to describe it.
And I'll tell you what, despite dropping it toward the end of the race, I'm still going to give Lifebout the driver of the day for the commentary stream, as he proved he can be up there.
Yep, absolutely. Well, if he can continue that into next week, then, well, and the weeks beyond, then maybe we might see him at the top a few more times. But, anyways, yeah, that was certainly a race in Singapore.
Yes, it certainly was, and well, it's going to be a busy night for us stewards. I hope you're buckled in and ready, Jacko, for what is going to be one hell of a storm of reports, I imagine. But
Yeah.
anyway, there'll be no me next week as we go to Jeddah for round 8, as our real life has once again whisked me away to the joys of a working life. But Ghost will be with you again to bring all of the action for you next week for round 8 of the Tier 2 Championship. Is there anything else left to add, Ghost?
Um, I think I don't think there's anything I could add that would add to what I've already said. That was a bit of a shambles.
Yeah, certainly. So, well then, I'm just going to say one last time, make sure you go check out our sponsor, Positive Perception Media Design Products. Make sure you give them all the love and support that you show us here at Tier 2, as they fully deserve it as for sponsoring us over here. And one more shout out to a shout out to our APPF1 affiliates. APP, of course, our founder of the community, as well as the rest of our drivers who like to share their streams, and of course the ever improving, the ever great Zach Sweeney, the Tier 1 and the Sprint commentator, who does an awesome job. And well, go check him out, he's brilliant. But anyway, that's going to be your Tier 2 action for this evening. I have been Sumo.
And I have been Ghost.
And we will, well, Ghost will see you next week. I will see you in 2 weeks' time. Goodbye for now, everyone.